Good morning, God's people. I wanted to add another nugget of information or wisdom, depending on how you feel, um, because we couldn't cover everything on the sermon on Sunday. So today I'm going to talk to you about SMART goals. We talked about setting goals. We talked about the biblical principles behind setting goals, behind planning. But I think that it's important to talk about SMART goals. And it's an acronym. It's SMART, which is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. These are well understood and studied principles for setting goals. And I use them when I talk with other people. I use this as a reference if you have or are going through any discipleship at the church. We will talk about SMART goals. So I'm just going to go through them very quickly. I don't want to waste your time. But first of all, number one of SMART is be specific. If you say, well, I want to be healthier, for example, that is not specific. Healthy is a relative term. Healthy in what way? Spiritually, physically, psychologically? All of those are different aspects of who you are. They're all very important, but they're not specific enough. So if you say, well, I want to be healthier physically, okay, fine, but that's not even still specific enough. You need to say, okay, well, I want to be healthier physically. What I mean by that is I want to lose 10 pounds. Now, that is very specific. That is something you can work with, and each of your goals need to be laser focused and funneled down to something tangible, like lose 10 pounds. And then it's specific. So that's specific. Specific. Next, it needs to be measurable. Obviously, losing weight is an easy one because you can literally measure it. There are other things that are harder to discern. We talked about maturity, spiritual growth. So, in that case, if you said, for example, I want to grow spiritually, I want to become a better Christian or whatever, something that I would suggest is taking time to practice the spiritual disciplines. One of those disciplines is prayer. So if one of your spiritual gifts is not the gift of prayer, it might feel like a little bit of work for you to take time to pray. And that's okay. Growing requires work and effort. So in that case, you can't measure. I want to grow spiritually. That's hard to measure, but you can be more specific and measure it by saying, I want to spend 10 minutes a day every morning in my morning routine and my nightly routine. I want to pray for 5 minutes. That's measurable. It's easy to follow. And A is achievable. 5 minutes of prayer is 100% achievable. You want your goals to be achievable and not too big. If you said, my goal is to be president by the end of the year, it is not achievable. You will fail. That is a silly goal to make. Now, if you are of the right age or you are very young and you want to be president in 15 or 20 years, that's a really lofty goal, but at the least you give yourself some time and it's achievable potentially. You'd have to go to law school. You'd have to become a senator probably. You'd have to do these things, get into politics, whatever. But the point is that you want whatever your goals are to be achievable. If you look back at being healthier physically, you want to lose 10 pounds. If you said, I want to lose 50 pounds by the end of summer, short of surgery, that is not achievable if you are over 50 pounds overweight. So that would be something where you go, okay, 10 pounds in the summer. That's a hard goal, but it is achievable. It's specific, it's measurable, and it is achievable. Next, it needs to be relevant. Relevant is important because it needs to actually align with who you want to be as a person. And that's what we argued in the sermon. And I want you to be doing these things because of the person you want to become. If you are doing these things for someone else or for some other reason, you're going to struggle at actually fulfilling it. You want to make sure that whatever your goals are, whatever it is that you're doing, is because it's who you want to be. That's what makes it relevant. That's what gives it power. And that's what makes it a part of your purpose. That's what gives it meaning. So you want it to be relevant. And I'm arguing that your goals should be relevant because of they are helping you become who you want to be. And in our case, as Christians, to be disciples of Jesus. And you could say, okay, my goal is to be CEO of the company I work for. That's fine. God willing, that's a fine goal. Again, though, be CEO for what purpose? To glorify God, to be the best you can be, and to, tithe and to do, give offerings, to leverage that for God's glory. But again, it goes back to who you want to be. Finally, it has to be time bound. That's the T. You don't just say, I want to be healthier. Well, if your doctor says your cholesterol is out of control and you could die in 5 years if you don't control it, you can't just say, I want to be more physically healthy. You have to say, I want to get my cholesterol down to X. That's specific, it's measurable, and talk to your doctor and ask him or her, is this achievable? Is this something that can be done with exercise and diet? You might have to be put on medication. Who knows? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. So who knows? But whatever it is you're going to do, it needs to be time bound. So, for example, for me, I have high cholesterol. It's not because of my diet or any of that kind of stuff. It is hereditary, but I can do things to lower it. So my doctor and I have an agreement. I have told him he's going to give me a year to try exercise and diet. So I've added things into my diet that have statistically and through studies have lowered cholesterol. So I am doing those things. It is measurable, it is specific, and it's time bound. I have 1 year to the day when I have my regular checkup. I have to do the fasting and all that kind of stuff. And then I have to have my testing done, and I will know without a doubt I will be tested in 1 year. I already have the date set, and we'll see. Have I been able to lower my cholesterol in a satisfactory way to, stick around for a little bit longer? Anyway, SMART goals. SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. If you have any questions about making your plans and your goals more smart, let me know, and I could happily help you work through the process. All right. God bless you. Have a great day.